Other assorted hype noises.
Hi, I'm Helix. Behind me there are a bunch of people who are making a lot of noise, and y'all should keep that up. I like it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. See, the Pokemon crowd left, but I wanted to try to beat them at their own game, and I think I might have.
Hey, I mean, if you're at 2DCon and feel like coming on down to Midwest Speedcast.
Anyway, I do have a commentator here. Excuse me. This is actually my boyfriend.
Hi, I'm Hero.
Yep.
I'm their boyfriend.
Yeah. You probably won't get to talk much. I'm actually going to be talking a ton about this game. One of the things you can do in it is pick your character. So, which character won? We got Morris the rat, Chartreuse the giraffe, and Snowcone the chicken, but which will be the lucky animal to be placed in a ball and flung around at high speeds? Go on.
All right. We did have a last-minute attempt at a swipe here of the character bid. That's why I'm getting a last-minute refresh. 1 second. Closing it out. Looks like we are going to go with Morris the rat.
The only character in this game right now with actual sounds, too. So all you Morris fans, I never play Morris either, so all you Morris fans finally get to see me play Morris. We can also change our ball from, just various things. I use this dodecahedron or whatever it is. You can also change the color of it. But anyway, that's the setup I'm rocking with.
Before we even jump in, may I go with a special shout out here?
Yeah, I see what just happened.
Okay, well, we had 2 donations, one for $21 from Toad Sensei saying, "Rat Gang, rise up," and an anonymous $40 donation with no comment, but that brings us over $5,000.
Is that too loud?
I hate that you did that. Just smack the mic.
Time to take that energy into the run, I think.
Absolutely. Oh boy, seriously, thank you all so much. Let's hit 10K by the end of the marathon. I know we can do it.
Yeah, if you want more energy coming into this, you know what to do.
So, I'm wasting time here. I gotta get started. So, this is rolled out, of course, an indie marble roller. Controls extremely well, but I will remind everybody that this is in early access, so if there are a couple things that don't look quite right, that is probably why. This game is continuously being updated. So, just keep that in mind. It's still really fun, though. I am playing all courses warps, so I will be playing through all 4 courses in arcade mode that you see here. Starting from Cozy, I will actually save basic for after standard. I'll explain that in a bit. The original 3 in this game were Cozy, standard, and challenge, and basic was added in the most recent patch. So we actually had to add 5 minutes onto my estimate. It's a short enough one that we were able to fit it in, which is awesome. I will shut up and finally get this started, but the problem with that is I'm really bad at counting, so I'm going to need you all to help me count down from 5, 4, 3, 2,
1, get rolling!
There we go.
Get rolling!
So the first thing you're going to see me do here is move diagonally. This is called boosting. You accelerate faster when you go diagonally, is the gist of it. This game reads inputs in a square, so you get the full force of the up input and the side input. You go faster. It's nice. I like going fast in my speed game. This is Cozy. There are 25 levels in it. Sort of the beginner, so to speak. I am going to add myself some safety lives here. This is like a debug feature that's still in the game. Doesn't actually matter if I run out. I just have to wait a little bit longer to go into free play. It's not a big deal.
Let's get ready.
There is a warp goal coming up on level 6. Warp goals skip levels. There are green and red versions. Green versions skip 1, red versions skip 2. You can tell by the particles around the goal. The green ones are a little bit hard to see, but the red ones are very obvious. I'm also sort of boosting along the walls, just trying to get air. You don't generally want friction, so anytime we can not be rolling on the ground can be faster. So this is one of the hardest warp goals in the game, actually. It was not even intended to be possible. And looks like I'm going to... Oh, okay. Hold on. I can go in this goal. I'm not actually going to... Okay, nice. I'm going to retry that, though, because I do want the red goal. It skips 2 levels. This is very fast. I saved it in the normal goal. Oh, that's... Like I said, this wasn't intended to be possible. I'm actually going back here to wait for a better cycle because this arrow is going up and down. There we go. That's a really fast time for that, too. 52.3. Jeez. Oh, no. Got a clip I didn't want. So we skipped 2 levels there. It's almost unfortunate because they're both actually pretty neat strats. But that's all right. You gotta buy this game. You can see more of the levels. There is a warp goal here on bridges. I am not going to take it because it's faster to take the warp goal in the next level. However, it is extremely difficult. So,
Let's get ready.
you know, kind of a trade-off there. If this weren't a marathon, I would probably go for the safer option that only loses a few seconds. I'm going to use focus mode to help me out here. This alignment looks pretty good. Oh, beautiful. All right. Yeah, focus mode actually makes the game go in slow motion, as you probably noticed. Collecting coins builds your focus meter, which you can see in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen next to the minimap. So that's what the coins do. 40 coins also gets you an extra life, but lives don't super matter yet. They probably will later. Oh boy, yeah, okay. I have never fully understood this strat. I'm gonna be honest. It's so weird. Oh, that's how that's supposed to look. Yeah. And then this level is hilariously easy. I'm gonna miss it now, and I'm gonna be really embarrassed. Okay. It's like that's totally something that I would do. It's just no, it's okay. We are now into Candy Factory, and you may notice immediately that the goal is different. Each world in this game has differently sized goals, and the Candy Factory goal, as you can see, is very small. That can be a problem. This pink stuff here is sticky floor. It'll be more relevant later. I'm not gonna touch on it just yet. It's the only time you see it in Cozy. Do you have something to say?
You are neither going to touch on it nor touch it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I went back there on conveyor belts. You can do that by just sort of going up, left, up, right, but it is not super consistent. And in the all courses run, you know, that's all the courses in the game, ends up being a pretty long run, so I value consistency a little bit more than I would otherwise. This is a really fun level. Just gonna scoop, 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 and in. And instead of, you know, going around this whole track, I'm gonna completely miss the clip and run off the edge. That's, yep, smart. There we go. Nice. So, the rest of this is relatively straightforward if there's a donation or two.
So, there we go. Absolutely. We do have a $45 donation from Plarty Malif. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Saying, ruled out hype!
Hype!
This is... okay, that actually ended up being pretty good. I'm gonna try
Time
to
for
get...
a couple more.
I'm gonna try to get launched up by one of these. There will be time in a minute. Okay, yeah, that actually went pretty well. That strat, you can get it flowing a couple different directions from that. I'm also gonna try to do the fastest RTA cane waltz strat. Yeah, right in the goal there. Nice. All right. So that's Cozy. You can see my in-game time there. That's not too bad. We do time this with in-game time. For all courses, we just add them all together. I'm gonna move on to standard, which would be the advanced sort of difficulty, so to speak. We're gonna come up on the next level, Springs. It has, well, springs. And you can complete this level using only 2 of these, but you have to be darn near perfect. That's not even close. I would like to show this off. Oh, I'm in there. Whoa!
Oh, the save!
I mean, all right. You get the idea. That's actually the IL strat, so normally if I'm just playing standard, I'll go for it, and it's only the 2nd level, so if I miss it, I just reset.
There's a reason they have a goated emote.
Thank you. Okay, springs are gonna come back here for Warrior. This almost looks like the Ninja Warrior obstacle, actually, like the first one you see. But I'm gonna just bounce on the side here and go over this way. I don't need to play the rest of the level, even though it is a pretty fun level. The rest of this is, again, pretty straightforward. There is a warp goal coming up on J-Drop that I will try a particularly difficult strat for. What is level 6? Oh yeah, Snake.
Are you ready?
I like forget still. This game is still recent enough to where I don't remember where all the levels are. Alright, cool. There is a faster version of that level that actually kind of makes the strat easier. Anyway, here's the really hard strat I'm going to go for. Wait half a second and then turn and then try to... Yes!
First try!
And then here I'm going to use a spring to bounce off of another spring. Or to bounce over another spring. Okay. Don't do that, please. There we go. Like that. So the next couple levels, you can fit in like one donation if you want.
Ready, set, roll.
Terrific. We have a $15 donation from Anonymous that says one simple phrase. Wins, baby.
Oh, shoot. Good question. When's Marvel? Sorry. I had to meme. There we go. Whoa. So the next level will be touch activation, and it features platforms that, well, when you touch them, they move. But we're not really going to be playing this level. There is a setup to get the IL strat. You'll see. You'll see what I'm talking about. Get on this wall, bounce here. Yes! Alright, so I want you to guess in your heads where the warp goal is on this level. It's going to be real quick. Coming up real quick. If you guessed inside the pyramid, you are correct. And then this level introduces quicksand. It's introduced in a level that we skipped, but quicksand is here as well. If I'm on it, oh, I slow down like that. It's unfortunate. You want to be on sort of the slanted sides there to get more speed rather than just rolling along the slow quicksand. It's, the level that introduces it is actually called Not So Quicksand. Yeah, you will love this level, by the way. You don't have a choice. And directly in the goal. Nice. So the casual strat here is to sort of use these quicksand walls to slow you down, but I don't really want to do that. So I'm just... Oh, the game lagged a little bit, but I lived. That's like the worst time to have a stutter.
Yeah, game said you're going to slow down whether you like it or not.
Apparently so. All right, this is one of the most difficult warp goals in the game. So if I can just have it fling me, this looks good. Nice.
First try.
Getting that first try is huge. So sticky floors are back. You can see that when I'm on them, I stick to them. But when I come off of them, gravity reverts back to normal. And I'm gonna more. Yeah, that's a pretty good IGT for that too. And here I'm going to just completely ignore the sticky floor as much as I can and fall directly, well, close enough. The nice thing about that is if you mess it up, the sticky floor saves you. So you only lose a couple of seconds.
Let's get ready.
This one is a little less forgiving most of the time.
So the important question is, what flavor are
come on.
those floors?
Where am I?
Anyway.
Bubblegum. Can I? Purple flavor, true. Where am I? Ah! I hate this strat. This one's really mean sometimes. I guess I should probably not do it the like IL sort of way, but it's... There we go. And then I'm on this part of the level, and this is actually a warp goal. There we go. Well, when I finally got it, I got a good time, so... I'm gonna use the little like ledges here to just sort of skip this first portion of the level. Ah, I didn't quite get enough height. This is a somewhat... Help? Help? Okay. This is a somewhat inconsistent strat that I maybe should not be going for, but it's really cool and does end up saving a good amount of time, because then you can carry your speed into this section and land directly into the goal. Alright, here's Triple Decker. I'm going to be taking the red goal, of course. We would like to skip levels. I'm going to use focus mode here to help me out. Nice. That's a really fast time for that, too. I have done it without focus mode, but it's... would not recommend. I'm going to bounce across these windmills. Cool. And we are now into Foggy Mountains, and I'm just going to kind of jump off the side here. Just kidding. The wind will save me. It's wind!
It's Breath of the Wild 2.
By the way, I'm like not going to play most of this level. Just going to...
We didn't need to play that.
No, it's a fun level, but I just didn't feel like playing it. So here's more wind. You know, it should be pretty obvious what the wind does. It pushes you around. but we can totally use that to our advantage.
Are you ready?
Cubic crossing, I'm just gonna
Roll.
try to bounce a little bit. Oh, all right, that's a good save. The idea was to bounce from the second cube straight into the goal, but I'll take that too. I think now would be a good time for another donation or two.
Absolutely. We have a $20 donation that says, "Hey, Esoterics, Midwest Speedfest here. Though I could not be present to cheer you, please make Animal and Ball fast go for small air time big. But question must must ask, where Monkey? Fired on job for sleeping? Miss them sometimes. Put big dollar donation towards 20 the cat story and go fast the porcupine." With that, the Big the Cat incentive has been met, by the way.
Love that guy. When will he be in the ball?
Good question. All right, gonna try to clip off the very edge of this platform. This is beautiful. And go right in the goal. Really good time too. So the bitrate's gonna it's gonna just go away on this
It's gonna
level.
die.
Yeah, we'll see you all after this. I sincerely apologize, stream viewers, tech crew, for the bitrate here.
Eye strain.
Yeah. All right.
Welcome back, everyone.
Nope. Now welcome back. All right. So you know this level, very obvious skip on it. You hop directly into the goal, and that is Foggy Mountain. We are now into virtual reality. I think I want to go for the IL strat once on slide off. I got it in practice. Oh, yeah!
Are you ready?
Cool.
Start.
Oh, okay. Please. Thank you. So another cool thing that this game does is it has a lot of accessibility options. You can turn, like, the background brightness down, and I have on this one and Tranquility just a little bit. You can also do basically whatever you want with the camera.
Are you ready?
You know, you can change how quickly it turns, you can zoom in, zoom out, you can change like the angle it's at, you can change your field of view. It's awesome. You get almost complete freedom in how you want to play this game. It's really nice.
You could effectively play it first person. I don't know why you would want to, but
I mean, you can try. Would not recommend.
okay, play is a bit of a stretch there, but
Yeah, it's not quite first person, and it ends up being very difficult. Just careful, partners. Linked blocks, there is a warp goal here. The particles will be a little bit hard to see, but the one farthest away from me, so that's the one I'm aiming for. Drop off, bounce there, and in. So we are actually almost done with standard. There are only 3 more levels left in standard. And then I will show you all basic, the brand new course that was added just like 3-ish weeks ago in a new patch. There was actually a speedrun contest for it that I got 3rd in, and I won a shirt. If the shirt was here, I would be wearing it, but it's not here yet. Oh yeah, we skipped this like whole level, by the way. It's a really neat strat. That level takes so long to do otherwise. This level was originally the end of challenge, but got moved to here. And that's standard. Let's see what my time was. 10:15 is not bad. That is not a bad time for that. And into basic. So this is supposed to be like sort of an introduction to a lot of the mechanics in this game. I didn't start with this because if I started with it, I would not be able to say everything I want to say in the time I have. These stages start going real quick. So here are springs here on stacked floors. Once again, we aren't going to take all of them because we don't need to. What's that? Oh, yeah. That's another thing that the announcer does. The announcer has different voice lines for lots of different situations. Obviously, there's swish. If you go into the goal really fast, he yells "wow." It doesn't happen in the speedrun. It's only possible on certain levels. You have to be going just absurdly fast. If you fall out, I think going really quickly, then he says something like, "Where are you going?" Or like, "How did you get down there?" Something like that. Please play this game. It's really fun, just even beyond the speedrun.
it's a game made with a lot of love, a lot of attention to detail.
Gonna use a pause frame here, just mostly to gather information, because you can't rebuffer in this game. I missed the button. What I'm trying to do is land on the button and then bounce to the next section of the level. I'm alive. I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay. Kind of like that, but faster. And I think that still saved time over playing it normally. That's how fast that strat is. These are conveyor belts. They're making another appearance. I'm just going to kind of bounce around them and go into the goal. I have a very loving name for this stage that I cannot repeat on stream.
Which should say everything.
Yeah, this strat's kind of silly. You have to run at that wall and get clipped up and over the other wall. Doing the stage casually would take ages. That was almost what I was looking for.
That was just mean. That was just
bit.
cruel.
A little bit. Oh, this is a terrible setup.
I think the stage heard you talking smack about it.
Oh, no, the stage knows. Come on. If I, like, get hit by anything... if I get hit by anything and, like, mess up my alignment... So, under normal circumstances, I would be starting with basic, actually, in all courses runs. And the stage is a big reason why, as you can see. The funny thing is I got it first try in practice because of course I did. There we go. Here's manual power. This is actually basically a seesaw that is turned on its side, and you can push it. And it has like no friction, so once I'm done pushing it, it'll keep going. So we escape here, and we press the button, it's going to flip over, and I get hit by it, and go over here and into the goal. That's a really cool level. This stage is massive and takes a little bit to load, so I'm not quite gonna get the strat, but this is still looking like a pretty fast beginning. Loving this, loving the noises.
These are Midwest Speedfest exclusive sound effects.
Okay, so that was actually pretty fast for that level too. This level looks cool. We're not going to play most of it. Yeah, you know. There is the only warp wheel in basic coming up next on Blossom. Well, there are two here, but we're going to take the red one because, you know, it skips more levels. This looks bad. This is... Oh, my. This level is responsible for ending many, many basic runs, so... Oh, come on. I bounced against the very corner of it, and it just didn't... There we go. That's what I wanted. Cool. And pure gravity platforms. I will explain them more in a little bit, because I don't really have time now, but we're going to hop over to the goal, and that's basic. Yeah.
You're telling me you don't have time to explain the gravity of the situation?
Anyway, here are seesaws. I need to get a really good clip off of that. This, actually, I'm going to have to go over here. Okay, yeah. If you get a good clip off of it, you can just bounce a couple times and get a 52. That was a decent backup. The beginning of challenge is probably one of the slowest sets of levels in the game, so pretty soon there will be an opportunity for donations. Not quite yet, because in another level, I think the next two, I'm going to try to explain some stuff. These, again, are just like sideways seesaws, basically. They end up being doorways that you can push, essentially, which is pretty neat. This stage is really fun, and you can build up a lot of speed on it, which is what I'm going to try to do here. Ramp off this ramp. Oh, wow, I got too much speed and went over the ramp I wanted to hit.
I don't know that I've ever seen that before.
It hasn't happened to me in a while. Okay, land here, and in.
Yeah! That's more like it.
It's really close to my ILPB as well. So here on dials, I'm actually going to hit the side of this to get out of the way and try to... Oh, wow, I ended up bouncing off the pole. Oh, and I lost too much speed. Okay. The idea here is to bounce against the middle of this. This is fine. Yeah, cool. Because it's a seesaw. Because it's a seesaw, I can hit the middle of it, and instead of pushing the seesaw, I'll just kind of bounce off of it. I messed up the cycle, but I'm fine. Cool. I waited a little bit too long, but it ended up working out. I think
Set.
we can probably get a couple donations in here now.
Terrific. I actually wanted to take the time to point out that we actually have 2 open incentives for Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link coming up. One of which is called Fight Dark Link Without Side Cheese. And I don't know what that means, but I want to see it. So $175 is needed for that, and that run is coming up soon, so we need to get some donations in towards that. We also have an open file named Bid War for that run as well, which has 0 donations towards it, so for $1, you could name the file whatever you want, within reason.
Wow, that's a good deal. Someone should hop on that and get that incentive met as well. I believe my incentive was met, correct?
It indeed was met. Yes, absolutely.
So here's Revolver. This is also essentially a seesaw. You're supposed to go in this a couple times to sort of get the goal to be level with the platform, but I don't need to do that because I can just fly in from the side. And coming up soon is bridge making. It's a level to note. This level, actually, was doubled in size because it was a bit difficult for this early in challenge. Yeah, that first little like spirally platform was half the size essentially, so it was very thin, and it was a seesaw. Here's bridge making.
Are you ready?
So I'm going to sort of move this bridge to be right about here, and now I shouldn't need to touch it again if I did everything correctly. Cross here, and get on here, and go to the platform. You're supposed to... Thank you. You're supposed to adjust it a few times, but with that setup, you don't really have to. These rings are all seesaws, but we can use this one to just sort of jump over the rest of them.
We don't need to play so many of these levels.
No, not really. Well, what'd you say in the practice room?
Well, it seems that the general objective with marble rollers, including this one, is to play as little of the levels as physically possible.
Pretty much.
Ready, set, start.
So Bounce Back combines seesaws and springs. If I didn't have these springs, I wouldn't be able to get back up. And Canister, well, there are switches on top of platforms on Canister that raise the ceiling. So I'm going to need to hit 3 of those before I can go in the goal. So here's the first one. Here's the second one. And here is the third one. And into the goal. Now we have gravity floors coming up. You're going to want to clap. I will tell you when you can clap. I have a little bit to explain.
Ready,
Gravity floors permanently change the gravity, as you can see here. We can abuse this on the next level, coil. You're supposed to go around and around the coil, but I don't need to do that. Because of gravity floors, I can just do this. Oh, what? I hit something that I didn't want to. There we go. You just do that. Not yet. Hold your applause, because this level is also a bit wild. I'm just going to run back here, hit this gravity floor, and then I'm going to fall all the way into the goal. Now you can clap. That's what gravity floors allow you to do. Also going to make this cycle. Yes. Good, good. The gravity floor allows me to essentially boost in the air for a really long time to get a lot of speed and make that cycle. You may notice that the goal in this level is almost like a frisbee golf goal. It's really nice. It works really well with the gravity stuff. It means I can also enter it from underneath, like that. So this goal plays very well with this world.
are you ready? Get rolling.
We're gonna try to go for a pretty fast cycle here. Got it. Those corner transfers are a little bit tougher than I make them look. But this level is gonna show you
Start.
that they can get even harder. Yeah. This is probably one of the most difficult levels in arcade casually. I try to take it fast because even slowly, I'm not very good at it, as you can see. Yeah, you get my point. This one can often eat up a few lives. Okay. Sure. Oh, this one's fun.
Get ready.
This one's fun.
Roll.
Obviously, the idea is that I go around and around the clip, but I can use gravity and just do that.
Ready,
And on change of pace, I'm supposed to use the gravity floors to sort of flip the entire stage around. But I'm going to flip it around once by falling in that hole and landing on the platform, and then just kind of do that. Pop quiz, I'm going to skip most of the level by getting a specific amount of speed and bouncing against this platform. Ah! I needed to land on top of it. So let's try that again. There we go. And then I can use the gravity floor here to just fall in the goal. And that's the gravity section. Probably my favorite section of levels on the run. There's just so much ridiculous stuff you can do. And we are now into Desert Ruins. So we are... Great. That's a silly death. Just ended up being a little bit too far to the side and didn't react in time, and off the level we go. Poor Morris.
There's been a number of level deaths thus far that I feel like could only happen at marathons.
Oh, totally. This is a really fun strat that looks really... I don't have enough speed there. It looks really nice once I get it. There we go. I heard someone yell stairs in ball game, which, yeah, kinda. I am so glad a skip was found for that level because it's really slow to play. Like, for the longest time, I was just playing the level as intended, and it took ages.
Are you ready?
And this is a pretty neat level.
Start.
They are a bit straightforward for a lot of desert and challenge. So, yeah, if there's a donation to be read, now's a good time. Maybe even 2.
Not a donation available at this point.
Fix it.
Yeah, we need to
come
fix
on.
that.
Come
Absolutely.
on. You got this in you. I believe in you.
Absolutely. Yeah, get those donations in. It's such a great cause. We're raising money for the OI Foundation here. So get those donations in. We're super close to 5,100, and we have a Zelda 2 incentive to meet. So go ahead and get those in, folks.
Are you ready?
All right. So on Backstroke, we can completely skip the third part of this level just by doing that.
Finish.
The IL strat does that, but really fast.
Are you
Yep.
ready?
Watch your step. I will not be watching my step because I will be going quickly. And just hopping straight into the goal. Yeah. The developer Twilight has tried to put that goal in like 3 different locations, and she can't stop us. This is a really difficult level. We're good. Yes. I went for that last clip on purpose, by the way. So this is one of the most ridiculous strats in the game. I mean, you see this whole pyramid, right? And like, imagine how long this would take me to play all the way. But if I just do this... Oh, make it up there. Yeah, all right.
Are you ready?
And now the game introduces portals. I heard someone like loudly chuckle in the background, and that was exactly my thought when I first saw this.
Finish.
You could say this was a triumph. I'm making a note here. Huge success.
Ready, set, start.
Oh, wind's back as well. Wind is back. We're gonna fly through the middle. There we go.
Ready, set, roll.
Wind is pushing me against those platforms there, just to make sure I can get across. A 77 is a pretty good time for that, so happy with my movement there. I like how this game has... It seems to have a pretty good balance of like movement-intensive stages and just like stages where you go fast and other gimmicks. I just really like the level design in this game overall. They did a great job.
Ready,
I want to try the IL strat one time. Okay, that doesn't count. Look, I couldn't see. Couldn't see the platform. Yes! I'm surprised I hit that, actually. That's pretty hard. I kind of want to start doing that in RTA runs, but I need to practice it just a little bit more, like real RTA attempts. In conservation, you're supposed to sort of use these holes, these portals, to gain speed, but you don't have to. You can make it up in one cycle. If I press it back while going up a ramp like that, then I won't create any friction, so I keep the speed I have, and then I can press forward again to just get over the top. I would like to go for the fast strat once here. This is a bad setup. I didn't have enough speed. I will go for it one more time. Because I think I know what I did wrong. Yep. Cool. That's another one I don't normally try and run. It is quite difficult.
Start.
So, this texture doesn't do anything special. It's just a pretty texture. Yeah. But this next level looks like a whole contraption. You know, we got seesaws, we got portals, and we also have skips, because of course we do.
Are you ready?
So this is ice. Yeah, you'll see. This is ice. There's very little friction on ice, because it's ice. Look how fast we can go. No, I have to start slowing down or I'm going to fall out of the level here. And so, yeah, and you might be thinking, wait a minute, ice physics in a marble roller? That sounds awful. It's not, actually. The developers and level designers use it in a really fun way. I'm sure custom level creators, because there are custom levels for this game, I'm sure custom level creators will be evil with it, but anyway, this is our first warp goal in challenge, by the way. They finally showed up, just a little bit late to the party. And I'm gonna sort of fly into it from the opposite side. I actually don't have enough speed here. Yeah. Those icicles have hitboxes, by the way. I have been owned by them so many times. And you lose quite a bit of time if you miss it, so it is kind of sad to get owned by those. This is much better. I might actually have too much speed now. You have to fix that a little bit. Ah, see? You see what I mean? You have to have such a perfect amount of speed to be able to fly right in. You would rather have too much than too little, because if you have too little, you have no shot, obviously. But I'm actually looking at the speedometer, and what I want is about 142. I hit like 147 there, so I had to fix that as well. There we go. I'm looking at the speedometer when I like launch off, and if it says like if it gets up to like 142, I know I'm good. But if it says 144 or anything above that, I really have to fix it. That's a really fast time for that level. Okay. Yeah, so I was supposed to sort of ride along the ice to build up speed, but I have a setup too. Yeah, like I don't even know how to explain that level. You have to play this game.
I mean, you should.
No,
Just
please.
General good suggestion.
Unironically, it's a great game. Indie developers, early access. There's being more content added, and it's only $20 on Steam. It's called Rolled Out. Go look it up.
Even if you're a filthy casual such as myself, they are planning on putting in party games.
I believe that was a Kickstarter stretch goal that was met. Also, not playing this level, by the way. Would have liked to go straight in the goal, but I mean, just happy I kind of lived that.
Ready, set,
And the skip in here might be obvious to some of you. Just do that. We are almost out of the ice world. So this run is actually going to be over relatively soon. We've got about 20 more levels here. Not quite, because there are more warp goals. Which is, well, I was about to say, it's sad that my time here is coming to an end, but it's not really, because I do have the incentive to play through as well after this. Anyway, this is Haunted Grounds. This level doesn't really have a gimmick other than being spooky.
The hot topic of Rolled Out.
Though I am going to throw caution to the wind these first two sections of this level. This one I do have to play slowly, though. This is the least consistent part of this level. There we go. There are some consistent clips you can get to skip the first two, and that's why I go for it. Slope up, I get to basically skip one of these levels, one of these like platforms, as you can see here. You get enough speed, and you just hop over it. It's fine. So, more warp goals. You can see like exactly where you want to land for them is color coded as well. So I'm going to do a setup here that gets me into the red goal at 45. Hold neutral here, and then once I hit this wall, I'm going to hold back, just like that. Bounce, 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 and go in. Shout out to Cyclops Dragon for finding that setup. I believe it was Cyclops Dragon. And there's another warp goal coming up really soon here that is going to look even more impressive, assuming I get the strat. Here's Archway. There's a goal on top of this. I'm gonna use focus mode here to help me. Cool.
Ah, this is my favorite strat in the run.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stand here and this wall will kind of boop.
Pop!
And we are into the final world of the run. This is the last 10 levels. No warp goals here. You gotta play them. This is Heavenly Chamber. That was really good movement. You can clap for that if you want to.
Ready, set, start. Finish.
That is close to the IL strat. IL is faster by almost, it's faster by like 0.15. This is a relatively difficult strat. I need to fly in the goal from the side here. Oh, yeah, that can happen.
Shit rolling.
Oh, please. This has killed a few PBs for me. This level is tough. There we go.
Clear. Ready,
Sunken Wire, I am
roll.
not really gonna play. Yeah.
It's still a very nice stage.
So this level was originally the end of Standard, but people thought it was too hard, so they threw it in Challenge as level 70. This used to be, or 4D used to be the last level of Challenge. So they moved, oh no! They moved all the levels after this, basically like up a number, and slotted this in here when they moved 4D to Standard. So let's not mess this up. There's actually a huge time loss, and I'm kind of sad.
Clear.
All right.
Let's get ready. Roll. Clear.
I wish we could do that level faster, even. I spend so much time in the air there, I don't actually get to hold forward all that much, and I have to throw in a lot of neutral, there's a lot of waiting. But it's at least a relatively easy strat, thankfully.
Clear.
3 levels to go. First is Freestyler.
Let's get ready.
This level is so fun to just mess around in. You can go so fast in it. I'm purposely not boosting as much as I could be, because I want to hit off of this. If I had too much speed, I would have overshot it. That allows me to do that.
Finish. Ready,
This is platforms.
roll.
And you can see here that the whole gimmick of this is transitioning between platforms, but this last one you can just sort of get them all in one go.
Finish.
And the grand finale of the run is Super Slide. This used to be the second to last level, and now I'm really glad it's the last one because it is a treat. This level normally takes like a full minute to play normally, but we do this.
I'm gonna want to hear a big pop off if they get this.
Oh, I need to pull back. Yeah!
They stick the landing.
That is time, by the way. So, funny thing about that run, that was almost world record. That's really close. I'm gonna have to retime that. I don't think it is. It's probably off by like 5 seconds, but I'm gonna have to retime that. So we're not done here yet, though, because I understand that my incentive was met. We're not in arcade. We're in practice mode. There are some stages in practice mode that aren't in arcade mode yet. Like everything in this world, Desolation. Desolation houses the most difficult levels in the game currently. I'm actually going to start a timer on my phone because I have 10 minutes for this. Just throw up a timer. Here, I'll throw up a stopwatch. That's easy. All right, I have 10 minutes to beat all of these levels. I will do culmination last because it's the culmination. So yeah, these are some of the most difficult levels in the entire game. I had a setup for this. What was it?
Shit rolling.
I'm concerned that I don't remember what my setup is. Okay, you know what?
Roll.
I got this first try in the practice room, and then I was like, okay, I'm good, and then I didn't play it. It was like, wait a minute. Oh yeah, okay. What was my setup?
Shit rolling.
Oh. That was really close to what I wanted.
So, does anyone in chat remember Helix's setup, or?
I got it. We're good now. I'm gonna play a little bit safe here. All right, now I'll start doing some corner transfers. So taking this a bit quickly. Cool. No.
Ah!
Oh, I get so anxious doing this in front of a crowd.
You know it's a close call when the marble roller runner, like, gasps.
This is gonna flip up. Yeah, okay, we're fine. There we go. All right. I'm going to go for the fast strat here because I started getting it a lot in practice. It took me a little bit, but... Oh, this is a fantastic setup.
Good. Looks good.
Yeah, first try! That level was actually made by Cutsman, who developed Super Monkey Ball Gaiden, a quite impressive Monkey Ball ROM hack. So this is Planeswalking. The ending of this level is really difficult. But first I gotta get there. But it is very likely that I will bonk the goalpost once I do get there. Oh, come on.
Start.
I think since the in-game leaderboards are added, which you don't see on screen right now because this computer does not have an internet connection right now. Since the in-game leaderboards are added, I believe only like a handful of people have finished this level, like 15, maybe fewer. So, oh, that was so mean. Normally you can throw yourself at that and you have enough speed to just make it across, but it was so mean.
To be fair, it is Desolation. These levels are like that.
Yep. I can't wait till these are in arcade mode. I have to get good at them. Imagine doing this at the end of an all courses run. No, we'd probably start here. Imagine doing this at the start of an all courses run. Alright, I'm gonna try to go off the side here. Oh, come on! Alright, I'm gonna move on from that because you get the idea. That goal is extremely difficult to actually finish in. If I have time, I may go back to it. We'll see.
Ready, set.
But I don't want to be sitting there just playing that level over and over. You know, hoping to finish in the goal eventually.
All right, so we have this absolute Metroidvania of a marble roller level.
Yep. There's a lot going on here. I just skipped a lot of it because, you know, it's me. I'm going to take this part of it slowly. Oop. Here we go. First try. That one, silly structure, is not too bad. This one, however.
Let's get ready. Shit rolling.
This one, for a while, was probably the most difficult level in the game until they changed a couple things. It's still really hard, but it was like... It was an extreme challenge for like seasoned veterans before.
You say absolutely breezing through the level.
Well, there were two parts. The first was that platform section, which is still a bit difficult for me because the platforms were raised up a little bit too high, so you had to like clip up onto them and then go across. The second part was this wind section. The wind was so strong that you could barely get through it. So they toned it down. Thank you, thank you. They toned it down, it's a little bit better, but there is a skip on this level. So let me show you where that is. If you go here, that.
Shit rolling.
but you saw a little something there.
Shit rolling.
Yeah. So if you go here, there's a wormhole that takes you to this part of this level. Yeah, nice time, by the way. So I do have the world record on that level. Well, last I checked, I don't know if I still do. This is Wire to You. It's all about wires. This one's pretty hard. This is...
What?
Oh, yeah, this is a thing. Ah! So that's actually like a glitch in the animation that makes that happen. The animation doesn't loop properly, and so it sort of jolts, and you get launched up if you stay on this too long. There we go. Okay, this is... Come on, Morris. Ah, nice. Did that without focus mode.
There is... Oh.
There's a skip here as well. The eagle-eyed among you may have noticed it. You just kind of... Boop. Yeah, no, you actually get to skip like the hardest parts of this level. So that's the way I would do it if I were speedrunning it, but I wanted to play the whole level and show it off. Now, we'll play Culmination. Look at this behemoth. This level is actually from one of the developers, Twilight's Monkey Ball ROM hack. It was the last level of story mode. Oh, I have the world record on this level by like 4 seconds, by the way.
Just saying.
I know.
As their Twitter description says, world's cutest human task.
It doesn't say that right now, but I have to make it say that again. I had to put something else there for a little bit.
Tragic.
I know. I don't want to do that while that's slanted. I'm very scared. We're not over. We're not done yet either. Now we're done.
Let's go.
Was that first try? I think that was first try.
Yeah.
I think that was first try, which is wild.
Yeah.
I do have a little bit of time left before I hit my 10-minute limit, so... Oh, well, we're not done yet until we play the most important level, Desolation Goalpost Test. Oh, yeah!
First try.
All right, I want to go back to Planeswalking and actually finish this level now. The strat I found for finishing this level, which I tried to do, was hopping off of, like, that last platform early. I would also do the IL strat for this if I knew what it was. But I actually don't even know. Alright.
That was a pretty good hydraulic brake impression.
Yeah. I'm not going to get too many chances at this either because this level is just so long. Nice. But at the very least, I'm proving that I can play it, so that's cool. But yeah, definitely, you know, check this game out. It is on Steam right now for $20 in early access. Developed by some awesome devs. Shout out to Polar Byte Games and SkyMap Games. Oh, that's not gonna go in. Yeah, okay. I have time for like one more attempt. And then I'm over my 10 minutes.
Go.
No, it's not. Doesn't count! Doesn't count! So, I'm gonna start doing shoutouts quick here. Shout out to Hero, of course. Thank you very much for commentating. Everyone on the back couch, I appreciate you all. Midwest Speed Fest staff, which includes myself. I'm shouting out myself. That's right. Thank you all for helping put on such a great event. It's so nice to be back in person, raising money for a fantastic cause. Get your donations in if you haven't yet. Oh. That's not going to go in either. Yes, it is! What?
Let's go.
How did that work? All right. I got to get out of here before I overextend my welcome, although I did finish it, but I had an estimate on my actual run, so that's helpful. Further shout-outs to Well, I know a lot of people from like the Minnesota Smash community that I haven't seen in quite a while, but lots of y'all, I don't know, like, some of it is you all were already in speedrunning. I helped to get some of you into it, and a lot of you have just ended up here. And this all has been like just a coalescence of a bunch of friends of mine. So it's great to see you all again. Shout out to everyone there who's here watching Midwest Speed Fest. I appreciate you all too. Yeah. I will be back at like 11 p.m.-ish. I am running a Mario Kart Wii with Seldom Seen Kid. I almost fell off the chair. Seldom Seen Kid right there.
It's just dramatic flair.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/helix13_. I'm also there on Twitter. Thank you for watching Rolled Out. We have some incredible runs up next for the rest of the marathon even. Don't go anywhere. Keep donating to the OI Foundation. And everyone here, give yourselves a hand and stay tuned for more awesome speedruns.
Yeah, great audience.
Thank you for making all this noise. Unironically, I love that. I wanted to pull a Pokemon, and we did, so thank you.
Also, take your meds if you haven't already.
Ooh, that's a smart reminder. Trans rights, also.
And drink some water, too.